G'day. If small business is too big to fail, what now? You may recall a few years ago when we had a major financial crisis around the world, a number of countries stepped in to save their banks and their financial institutions, arguing that these institutions were quite simply too big to fail. If these companies failed, then the entire economy of that country would implode. But the other thing to think about is that in many of these same countries, small businesses, SMEs, small and medium enterprises, mom and pop shops essentially to a large degree, represent up to 30, 40, 50% plus of the GDP of these economies, and in many cases, much more in terms of the percentage of the workforce. So the reality is that it's small business that is actually too big to fail. And I just think it's worth thinking about the implications of that, because there's a number of countries right now around the world where many small businesses, of course, are closing down. They're just going out of business as a result of the various conditions and lockdowns imposed by this COVID-19 pandemic that we're all going through. And so whilst a number of countries are doing what they can to keep a lot of these industries alive, there comes a limit. At some point, it goes away. And I think for many countries in many areas, we're reaching that limit in many industries as well. So I think it's just worth thinking about, if these small businesses fail, just like when the big banks were going to fail, then we are potentially going to have our entire economies implode. So do what you can to support your local businesses. And whenever the governments are trying to throw money at supporting these local businesses and keeping these industries alive, just remember that collectively they can sometimes represent 50% plus of GDP and 60% plus of the overall workforce. So small businesses are simply too big to fail. What do you think? Do let me know in the comments below. I do thank you for your time, and I will be back again tomorrow. See ya.